anything greater than yourself.
Okay, as promised, a complete tour of the entire grow room. Let's start on this side, okay? Come on. On the left, when you look in, you can see the plants and a bank of lights on the ceiling. Yeah, I know there's foil, and I really don't like that. I'm going to be taking that down because I just don't like the look of a room with foil in it. And under the hanging light is where I keep the taller plants that won't fit underneath the other lights. And then to the right side of the room is another bank of lights on the ceiling and plants underneath that. You've probably noticed that the tips of these are cut off, and there's a good reason for that, because this particular tomato plant puts out long, heavy branches of leaves. These are very strong, very healthy looking branches. The thing is, they're also very heavy. So what I like to do is clip them halfway off, and it doesn't miss it at all, but it lightens up the plant so that it can grow a little bit better underneath an indoor condition. Outside it doesn't matter because you get full sun, you're going to have a super strong plant. Indoors, tomato plants tend to be a little bit weaker than outdoors, so if I cut half of the stem with the leaves off, it does make it lighter and it does make it easier for the plant to stay upright. For instance, here's one right here. I would just toss off half of that, and it doesn't miss it at all. It grows perfectly fine without them. This is supposed to grow a small, compact, well, it's going to be small and compact because I can't let it grow huge in my house, but it's going to be a smaller, compact palm tree that will put out a prolific amount of edible fruit, really good fruit. So I'm really curious to grow this. I've grown a couple palms before, but nothing edible. Okay, that tripod just wasn't working right, so I had to take my camera in my hand, which is probably not the best decision I've made today, but I wanted to get really close up and show you something. This is the big pineapple plant that I harvested the pineapple off of, and a lot of people told me that this plant will put out what's called pups, and that would be at the very bottom, and put out new plants, but the original plant will not grow another pineapple. Okay, well, I can believe that, but take a look at what's going on inside here. Gosh, I hope this is focusing. There's an itty-bitty plant right there at the tip of my finger. It's coming out of the plant, but not at the bottom. Yeah, I have never heard of that happening. I've heard of the plants coming out of the base, but never out of close to the top. So that's a bit ridiculous, and I'll definitely keep you updated on what that thing is, if it's actually a pineapple or a triffid. These are the ghost peppers, the butcholokias, and they're getting a lot darker than they were before. I like the color on these. There's more back there. It's a really nice contrast with the green, I gotta admit. These are some beautiful peppers. Somebody sent me cotton seeds a year or so ago at my other house, and I grew it outside, and I was so impressed with the plant and the flowers and the cotton balls things that come out of it. I decided to save the seeds, and I am growing some more. So I'm going to have cotton grown in my house. A friend on YouTube sent me what's called red amaranth. And I think Native Americans used to use red amaranth to make dye. I'm not quite sure, so if I'm wrong, sorry. And right next to the red amaranth is something that another friend sent me. His nickname is Red Dog, Angry Dog, Insane Dog. I have no... I forgot the name, but I didn't forget the plant. It's called the goldenberry. And goldenberries are supposed to be really good. And he asked me recently, Ray, have you started growing those? And I said, no. And I came upstairs later on and I saw this. I thought, oh, crap, I guess I am growing it. I grow so many things. I just forget sometimes what I'm growing. But I am growing it, and it's doing really good. Yeah, somebody sent me wisteria seeds. I grew it, spider mites took hold and beat the heck out of it. I chopped it down, sprayed the heck out of it with some neem and pyrethrin, killed the bugs, and the plant is growing back. Yes, I have gotten everybody's warnings on how really ridiculous this is and how much it'll take over your yard, but you know what? I'm going to grow it anyway. In front of this crazy take over your yard plant, I have my orange tree. I really like this thing. The citrus trees seem to do really well in my house, and I don't know why, because I've never done this before. This is a total experiment to see if I can grow these, and they are growing really well. And you know what's really nice about growing an orange tree or a lemon tree? If you just rub the leaves and then smell your fingers or smell the leaves, It smells just like the fruit. I know it's supposed to probably smell like that, but still, for somebody who's never grown these before, that was actually a treat for me. I thought that was pretty cool. And up from the scratch and sniff plant, this is the miracle fruit plant. I got a seed and I planted, actually I got a bunch of seeds, planted miracle fruit, and no big miracle, they didn't sprout. Only one of them did. This is a really slow growing plant and I don't know why. It requires slightly acidic soil, so I give it a little bit of coffee every now and then because coffee is acidic, and that seems to help. Okay, sorry about the glare. This is called a garden huckleberry. Yeah, I've always wanted to grow a huckleberry, and I got some seeds, and now I have one. So I'm going to be growing huckleberries. And all this weird green foliage back here are, of course, the asparagus. They are nuts. I have to keep cutting them back, and they grow back, and I cut them back, and they grow back. And the reason I cut them back is because they grow so fast and furious, they would take over everything. And I don't have enough big pots to transplant them, so I'm keeping them cut back. These were grown from seed, and they're really doing better than I had ever hoped for. I have no idea what I'm doing right, but apparently I'm doing it right. Okay, another gift from a friend online. This is called a Thai eggplant. So whoever sent me the Thai eggplants, yes, I'm growing them finally. This one sprouted just about, I'd say, a week and a half ago, and the leaves are getting really big. I don't know what a Thai eggplant's supposed to look like, but in my house, that's what it looks like. This was featured in a contest question, and a lot of you got it right. This is a jackfruit tree, and it's growing extremely fast. It's putting out a side branch. I'm going to keep this pruned back and very healthy, and hopefully I'll get jackfruits out of it. And the fruits are supposed to get up to 80 pounds. Yeah, that's not going to happen in my house because these will not get to be 80 pounds. But if I get any jackfruit at all, I'm definitely going to share the seeds with people who want them. That is a shiny plant. It's probably putting all kinds of glare onto the camera, but still, that is a beauty of a plant. Coffee is a fun plant to grow. Anybody that's grown it already knows this, but I'm just learning it myself. Coffee, and this is called Racemosa Coffee, which puts out a ton of coffee beans, and it grows really fast. So if you ever want to grow coffee, be prepared to wait about 4 weeks for the seed to sprout, but once it starts growing, it grows. The cameraman that I am, I'm going to spin the camera around just a little bit. Oops, tripod. Here's the center of the room. These are the big boys. These are the ones that are too big for the lights on the sides of the room. This is the tomatillo. And tomatillo is putting out little tomas all over the place. And this is my first time growing it, like I keep telling you. And it grows in these little lantern type things. And I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, which I more than likely am, I'm assuming when the tomatillo inside is full grown, it'll start splitting open this protective shell. I have no idea. I think that's what it's going to do. And then I'm going to grow these outside this summer because they're so much fun to grow inside that they have to be a total blast to grow outside. And boy, do they put out pollen all over the place. It's just nuts. I got to keep sweeping pollen up off my floor. And I'm growing it right next to my cherry tomato. This thing is still putting out cherry tomatoes. Look at the size of these. This is a beautiful, beautiful plant, and it grows extremely strong. Indoors, outdoors. Yeah, this is the cocoa plant, and it is just huge. It apparently is doing something right. It started with just a little seed and a funny little experiment of mine, and now it is out of control. Now, if you're ever growing cocoa plants, be prepared because some of the leaves will look like this. And normally, I would be treating damage like this and think, oh gosh, it's either getting too much fertilizer or something's going wrong. I did some research on cocoa trees, and this is normal. It's caused by heat or strong light because the leaves are very thin. Even though they're strong, they're like paper, and they're strong paper, and they do dehydrate very easily. But this is a very natural thing for them to have. And normally I would think, oh, this is salts from the fertilizer, but I don't use fertilizers on this, so it's definitely not salts from a fertilizer. But from what I understand, it's a bit of a natural thing for the plant, and it only happens to a few of the bottom leaves. The top leaves are absolutely perfect. So as it grows, it can get rid of some of these lower leaves. I used some string to tie it up because this thing grew so fast and so furious, it got top heavy, and I didn't want it to fall because I have to haul this downstairs. Yeah, that's going to be fun, isn't it? Right next to the monolith is another monolith. This is the belladonna. And she is just taking over the whole side of this room. And of course, this deadly little sweetheart has some children. Take a look. Yep. Berries. These are nightshade berries, and I'm going to save them and try and plant the seeds and grow some more. Ugh, I gotta wash my hands now. And if you ever want to grow something like this, definitely keep your children's pets away and try not to lick your plant. But I have to tell you, this is a beauty of a plant. It grows fast, furious, huge, beautiful green leaves, extremely sturdy. This is not propped up at all. It is completely self-supporting. And I did chop back the growing tips because it was growing so fast I didn't know what it was going to do in this little room. So I cut the growing tips and it's putting out more. So I decided, what the heck, let it go. Beautiful leaves. And one of the things I do every day that puts a smile on my face, I rub the leaves. It smells like lemon. It's just the most beautiful smell. The leaves are shiny, strong, beautiful, and the smell is fantastic. But look at this. Ouch. Yes, this thing has thorns all up and down it, and it put out a side branch. A really nice, strong side branch. Now, if you want to have side branches on your trees growing inside, try to make sure that they go straight out, okay? You don't want a V branch because a V branch is a weak branch. You want an L-shaped branch. L-shaped branches are the strongest branches. So if it's growing in a V and you can, pull it down a little bit, tie it down with a string so that it goes straight out, and that will cause it to be an L-shaped branch, and that'll give it a lot more strength for fruiting, especially for apple trees outside. Yeah, definitely make an L branch. That is the strongest branch. This I haven't shown much of. This is a bird of paradise. And this bird of paradise was grown from a seed given to me by a friend a couple years ago. I lost touch with a friend, and that's really kind of sad, but the plant is doing beautiful. When it flowers, and I'm sure it will sometime, I'll definitely show you the flowers from that. This is called a moonflower, but technically it's datura. Yes, it's a very dangerous, poisonous plant, but I don't have kids and my dog doesn't touch it. So look at this. Amazing, beautiful thing growing out of this pot. And at night, it puts out these big white flowers. This one isn't open. It only opens up at night. And the most amazing, fragrant smell comes out of these. And the best way I can explain the smell is ethereal. It is just beautiful. And that is the reason I grow these. They're a beautiful flower, and the smell is insanely relaxing. These mangoes grew really well, and it's my first time growing them. Each one has their own personality and their own way of growing. Like, for instance, this one has the Cheeto leaves. They just spiral around, curl around. They do whatever they want to do, and I have no idea why, but since it's a healthy plant, why do I care? This one next to it is kind of a mix. Some of the leaves go out, some of them curl up. Again, no idea why. Same thing here, but look at this one over here. This one grows perfectly out, no curl in the leaves. It's like a palm tree. It's from the same batch of seeds that I got the other ones from. Again, no idea why they do what they do. I just go with them, and they do really well. But what's really cool about these, I buried the seeds, and look what happened. When it grew up, it pulled the seed right out of the soil, and the seed's still attached. And the seed's still attached to the stem. See? Seed, stem, root goes down. I tried burying it, but the soil keeps moving away from it. And since it grows really well, I really don't care. Take a look at the carrot. It's getting big in there. And I'm not growing it for the carrot. I'm growing it for the seeds. I want to get seeds out of this, but I don't know how long it's going to take. So it'll just grow and grow and grow. We'll see how long it lives in this house. Last plant I want to show you. You haven't seen this one yet. This is the second ghost pepper plant. And, oops, sorry Mr. Carrot. Take a look. It's like a tropical forest underneath this plant, isn't it? And what's weird about these, this plant is supposed to be identical to the other one. It was grown at the exact same time, same conditions, same light, And none of these peppers have turned orange, yellow, red, anything. They're all green. And there are a lot of these things hanging down here. But like the other ones, when these turn ripe and it's time to pick them, I will save the seeds and, oh, garden gnome. But I will save the seeds from these and send them to people who want them. But it's not going to happen right away. It's going to take a while. This is from my mother. She sent this to me on Christmas, and it's a sock monkey hat. And I unwrapped it, and my first thought was, what the heck is this thing? And I went into the bathroom where the mirror is, and I put it on, and I laughed myself silly. Yes, it's extremely ridiculous, but for some reason, I like it. And I'm not wearing it because my mom sent it to me. I'm wearing it because I really do like it. Thanks for joining me for the update on my grow room with the Voodoo Garden channel. I really do appreciate it. And my monkey head. I had to show it to somebody, so I might as well show it to you. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.